Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka G-Lauren33. I am back here today with your My Hero Academia Chapter 307 review. Thank you guys for joining me once again. You guys absolutely killed it on last week's review with Chapter 306, where we saw Deku become the new Sasuke, right? Where he left UA High for a new journey. And you know, the talk in the community has been absolutely wild, and I want to thank you guys for all the support, the new subscribers. So definitely, you guys, let's keep it going this week. Slap that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's talk some My Hero. Also, really quick, we have My Hero Academia Season 5 starting this weekend. I will be giving you guys reactions just like I did for Season 4, so be on the lookout for that. Also, they did drop a poster for My Hero Academia's new movie that's going to be coming out this August with Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. So, very exciting stuff right now for My Hero Academia. But let's focus on the manga. So, like I said, everybody's been talking about what's been going on with Deku. He left UA. Some people have been comparing it to, Naruto Shippuden, right? And people believe that we could be entering a time skip. We could be seeing the end of My Hero Academia, but the start of a new series, which could be called My Hero. Because, Deku leaving UA is like the end of the school part, right? The academia part. Even though Deku was only in the beginning of his second year. So a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of crazy theories. And one thing I will note is we don't see Izawa or Bakugo or Todoroki or All Might in this chapter. And remember, we didn't get to see their reaction to Deku's letter. So I'm still keeping my eyes out for that, because I could definitely see these four individuals maybe going after Deku, trying to bring him back home, right? Or, maybe Deku spoke to them beforehand. We don't know. But I do find it very interesting how we have not yet seen the reaction of Bakugo, Todoroki, All Might, and Izawa to Deku's letter. And that's something I am keeping my eyes out for. But getting into it, right? We saw last chapter that Deku, he was looking off in the distance. He was wearing Gran Torino's cape. It also looked like he was wearing his old gloves from season 1. But I could be wrong on that. But he was looking off in the distance and he said a big villain. So it looks like Deku has gone full vigilante mode. And this is a huge Easter egg to season 1 where we first meet Deku in the first chapter when he's smiling and he's talking about a big villain, And Deku has that kind of depressed look on his face. He's not smiling, clearly. So it's very interesting to see what's actually happening with Deku's character. So this title of this chapter is called Long Time No See. And the first page shows a destroyed city. And they're talking about how an escaped villain from the Tartarus prison is causing trouble. So one thing that's been kind of swiped under the rug, right, is that the prison break. We know that All For One and Shigaraki were causing a prison break. All For One was mostly controlling Shigaraki and the League of Villains, because we know All For One wants to build this new evil empire. So that could be part of Deku's motivation. He believes he has to be the one to stop Shigaraki and All For One, and he doesn't want to put his friends in danger, right? So on the next page, we see Shindo Yo and Nagagapi Tatami. I hope I'm saying their names correctly. You guys remember them from the Provisional License arc, right? We also saw them a little bit in the Endeavor Agency arc. So we see that both of them are now in their third year of high school, so it tells you that the second year of school has officially, or the new school year has officially begun. What would be Deku and company's second year, even though Deku's left UA at this point. But we see that Shindo and Tatami, they're heading towards the Tugari building. Like I said, I'm terrible at pronouncing Japanese names. But they're trying to persuade the citizens who are there. Because remember, a lot of society is being forced into these huge shelters because of the villains rampaging around. And there not being enough heroes to take care of the villains, right? And we see that the citizens there are defending themselves on their own. And, Shindo is trying to persuade them to move over to Shindo's school, because it's a bigger facility and they'll be able to, be a little more protected over there. But here we see the effects of the changes in society. Like, when I keep mentioning that Hero Society is no longer the same, it is no longer the same, right? The citizens first, they looked out at Shindo because they're just kids. Even though Shindo is in his 3rd year of high school, right, and he could become an official pro hero in just a year, they still look at him as a kid. And they also argue that they doubt that the heroes would be able to do anything if villains are attacking their designated shelter where there are so many citizens in one place. They said that they had realized that they shouldn't entrust their life to someone else and that they should protect their city by themselves because they succeeded in beating up some small villains up till now. So we see, right, that the citizens have lost faith in the pro heroes, right? A lot of pro heroes have died, a lot of pro heroes have retired, and remember, there's not as many pro heroes anymore, so many parts of the country are free for the taking for the villains to cause, rampage and destruction. And, now you have the citizens who, a lot of them have quirks. They're just not powerful quirks that, are meant you use because they're not heroes. They're just normal citizens at the end of the day. So they're defending themselves and they're having a little bit of success, but when it comes to facing a huge villain, especially one that was locked up in Tatara's prison, they know it's going to be a difficult battle, but they know that they're the best bet for their own survival because the heroes are not around. So you can see Shigaraki was able to bring down Hero Society, and these are the effects. The citizens don't have trust in the heroes, plus they have to defend themselves at the end of the day. They believe their best bet at survival is themselves, and that is absolutely crazy because when we first start this series, right, we see that there's heroes everywhere, rescue heroes, combat heroes, right? There's heroes everywhere and at every corner of the eye. Now we're seeing that society has been regulated to these shelters and the heroes aren't there, so the citizens have to defend themselves and they can only trust themselves because they can't trust the heroes to protect them anymore. So we see Shindo argue that they might be able to go against small villains, but they can't face Normu and they can't face escapees from the prison break because even pro heroes have died against them, aka Shigaraki, like I just mentioned. Shido tried to win them over with a smile and told them to let them protect the citizens once again, but the citizens were not budging and Shindo ended up not being able to bring them to the shelter. So you guys see, that's a big thing, right? All Might would always save people with a smile, no matter how dangerous it was. We seen that in his last battle with All For One, right? Even as, damaged and fatigued he was, he still held up the fist at the end and he smiled. That doesn't work anymore in society. You can't just smile, at the citizens and the citizens are going to believe everything is going to be okay. Because in reality, now in this new hero society where the heroes are not even the heroes anymore, right? Smiling is not going to work. It's all about action, and the heroes aren't doing action because they're not around. So we see Tatami, she makes fun of Shindo for his failed negotiation because Shindo was so confident at first. So we see them walking. Tatami gets a call informing them to run ASAP because a muscle escapee is heading their way. And I know a lot of you guys got excited right away when I said that because I saw the comment section last week. A lot of you guys were predicting that Muscular was going to be the one Deku would face off against, right? And it kind of makes sense because Deku struggled heavily against Muscular. Almost died, in fact. And I we always get that huge, one for all, 1,000,000%. That there's no such thing as 1,000,000%. It was just Deku just talking, right? Deku was breaking his limits there, but there was no 1,000,000%. But the whole thing I believe they're doing this for is they want to showcase how much stronger Deku has gotten. Because he struggled against Muscular, almost died. And now we know Deku is a hell of a lot stronger. He hasn't mastered One For All. He hasn't mastered all those other quirks. But he should fare a lot better against Muscular at this stage. Especially after all the training and everything he's gone through since that event. So we see we see that Shindo and Tatsumi, they prepare to escape, but before they can, Muscular arrives. Shindo told Tatsumi to run and get help and help the citizens to escape, and he will try to, beat Muscular. When Tatsumi arrived back to the building, the citizens were preparing themselves to fight, right? So you see, the citizens, they don't care. They, like I said before, the citizens believe that their best bet at survival is themselves. Before they would just rely on the heroes to take care of everything. And that's not the case anymore. So Tatsumi told them not to do it, but the citizens wouldn't listen. And then all of a sudden, you hear a big quake. So Shindo is trying to use his vibration. We know his vibration quirk is very powerful. It's able to create earthquakes when he's using it at full power. And he's trying to use his vibration to stop Muscular, but we know Muscular, his muscle is very thick. So even though Shindo's very powerful, Muscular's, muscles are so thick to the point where the vibration doesn't have any effect. So we see Shindo try to use ultimate vibration, right? And we know that the weakness of that is when he uses it, he won't be able to move for some time. But he uses it, but it wasn't enough as well. So Muscular is about to kill and finish Shindo off, but then all of a sudden we see a smash come from out of nowhere, and Deku arrives on the scene. So the reason Deku was able to figure out Muscular was there is because Deku was able to use the sense quirk that he got from the fourth user. We talked about this a couple chapters ago. I like to call it the Spidey sense quirk, right? So then we see that Deku, he's wearing the mask, so he's not, in his normal outfit. He's wearing the mask, which he doesn't wear much these days, right? I don't know if Deku's just trying to make himself not I don't know, Deku doesn't want people to recognize him, right? Because he's a vigilante, and because, he left UA, he doesn't want to draw attention to himself. I'm not sure, but he is using the mask. So we see Deku then holding Shindo in his arms, right? And then Muscular is able to recognize Deku's voice, but he can't recognize Deku's face because of the because of the mask. So basically the end of the chapter is Muscular staring down Deku, and it's now basically implying that next chapter we're going to see the rematch of Deku versus Muscular from the training camp arc. So this was a pretty good chapter, right? The big takeaway from this chapter is Deku is indeed a vigilante now. He's acting on his own. How long will he be able to do this, right? Is Deku just, trying to be the hero now? Is he trying to be this Batman hero where he just takes out villains from the shadows as he tries to train himself up and continue to get stronger for his eventual rematch with Shigaraki and, his huge battle with All For One? That could be the case, but, we don't know. We don't know. But we do know that Deku is acting on his own. I do expect Deku to beat Muscular. Well, will it be, in one chapter, 2 chapters? I'm not sure. Will someone, see Deku and then recognize him? We know that Muscular, did recognize Deku's voice, and we also know that Deku's mask does get destroyed pretty much anytime he wears it, so that will be interesting as well. But, we know that Deku could use One For All to get away pretty quickly because of the, the super speed it provides as well. But, I feel like this fight is going to showcase how much Deku has improved, right? But, the big takeaway is, Hero Society is, basically it has been destroyed, right? The citizens are fighting for themselves, and now you have Deku, who's supposed to be in school, acting on his own. And where is Deku going? I'm not sure, but this is still very interesting. I'm gonna be honest, right? I said this last week. I'm still unsure how I truly feel about Deku becoming a vigilante. Is it the right time? Right, me personally, I kind of wish they would have saved this for Deku's 3rd year, right? Like senior year. That would have made a little more sense to me. But, with the way Hero Society is, right, Deku's, feels like he's the only guy that can do this. And remember, if you guys have watched the other War Arc videos I've done, I've complained about how I don't like Deku putting all the burden on himself. I don't think that's good for his character, right? And I thought Deku would have learned that lesson after Bakugo sacrificed himself. But, you know, it still feels like, you know, Deku believes he has to be the one to save Shigaraki and stop All For One, and we'll see where that goes, right? Plus, like I said earlier, we don't know what's happening with All Might and Izawa and Baku and Todoroki. So until we get more information, I'm going to save or hold judgment. Right, I trust Horikoshi. Right, he's fantastic with his long-term storytelling. You know, I just don't know how I feel about Deku being a vigilante at this stage. Let's see where they go after the battle with Muscular and what happens, which will probably be a couple chapters. I'll keep repeating this, but that's just my personal sentiments. All right, so let me know what you guys thought. This was a good chapter. I feel like we're gonna see some amazing action next chapter with Muscular and Deku. Right, I'm very excited for that. So other than that, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new by hitting the bell next to my name, fiercest TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you guys later. Remember, we will have the My Hero Academia Season 5 Episode 1 reaction this weekend, right? We also got Attack on Titan. We also got some SmackDown, so a lot of cool things happening. So make sure you guys just subscribe so you guys don't miss any videos, all right? I'll see you guys later. Stay safe and healthy, y'all. Peace.